Hey, how's it going, everyone? How's it going, everyone? In today's episode, I kind of wanted to talk about a few things. Mainly those things being talking about my meniscus tear, update on my meniscus tear, because that's kind of what I spent last episode talking about. Um, and other than that, I wanted to talk about what I want to talk about. I had other things I wanted to talk about. Oh, yes. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was talking about how, and as you can tell, sorry for my voice, I'm a little sick. The other thing I wanted to talk about, the other thing that was on my mind is how being invested in a fan base too much can ultimately make you even lose your love for that, thing that you have a love for, or that you care about, or that you enjoy. So I think it's important to not get too invested into whatever fan base that you care about, or that you're looking at, or that you enjoy, or whatever. But first, let's talk about my meniscus tear. So the main thing about my meniscus tear, the only really new thing, yeah, we already know it's torn, but we knew that. I specifically knew that. Hey, some tears need surgery, some don't. But there's actually a lot of meniscus tears that don't need surgery. Me, just being unlucky with injuries, per usual. I went to the doctor today. I went to the knee specialist at the orthopedic center that we have here, close to us, and talked to him. And basically, he said the tear, and kind of like where I'm at specifically in the tear, and we were talking about that. It doesn't have enough blood flow to it. So, no matter what I do, uh, the tear just doesn't have enough blood flow. So it will be hard for it to heal on its own. This basically, that's basically what he said. He said it's going to be hard for it to heal on its own, so we have to do surgery. Now, the kind of surgery was kind of the question today, and the plan was, here's the plan. I'll break it down to you guys. The plan is, A, they're going to go in and do a meniscectomy, which is where they cut off part of the meniscus and leave the good part. The other option, if they see that the tear is like a pretty straightforward tear, not an awkward tear, they're going to repair it. So, one, I would be basically able to walk almost immediately. But then in the other, it would be a little harder to walk, because I would, it would be a little harder to walk after that, because I think it would be 6 weeks off of the foot for the repair. So I feel like, and this is what I told my mom, like, I feel like I'm in a hard spot, because like, I don't know which one to like root for. Like, do I want to walk immediately and hopefully finish out my season for football? Yeah, I would love that. But also, do I also want to maybe like possibly, I don't know, not have arthritis in the future? Because knee scopes usually cause arthritis because you're cutting out a chunk of your meniscus. I don't know yet. And I feel like, I've had these appointments and I've got the screening, I've got the imaging, but there's still so much to me. There's just so much unknown in all this whole thing. There's just so much unknown. And I don't know how to feel about that. Like, it makes me afraid. It makes me like, I wouldn't say afraid. I just don't know much about the knee, and I don't know much about this injury. And I think it's just a frustrating thing as a whole to deal with, because of like, especially like the amount of injuries that I've had in my life and I've had to deal with through high school. And like, this is my senior year. And if I do have to repair, I won't be able to play so many different sports that I wanted to play this year. And then if I do, I'm not going to be myself, because of, I won't be at my best. So it's definitely something that's frustrating, and something that I have had to wrestle with and deal with, but also at the end of the day, not feel sorry for myself and come back to earth and like say like, hey, like there's other people that have it so much worse than me. Like I just need to lock in. First of all, I just need to lock in and understand that it can always be worse. And I'm blessed to, I've had so many blessings already in the school year and this football season. So to not forget those, especially, yeah, and those have just been absolutely great. And I couldn't ask for anything else. And so I need to be really locked in and think about the good in my life as well, and not feel sorry for myself. Because if I'm, once I get the surgery, if I'm just feeling sorry for myself, how am I going to recover? How am I going to get back to where I was? If I'm feeling sorry for myself, I need to come back to where I was when I had my first injury. And even better at that. I mean, I should just be getting better at recovering. At this point, I should just be a recovering expert and not let anything really just get in my way, because I need to, it's a time that's hard, yes, but I need to be mentally tough. Okay, get away from me. Sorry. Now, speaking of other things, I want to talk about fan bases. Getting too involved in a fan base will literally make you lose love, or an online group of anything that you love. It doesn't necessarily have to be a fan base. I just feel like there's so much toxicity in all of it. For example, hold on, someone's texting me. All right. So, sorry about that. Yes, what was I talking about? Yeah. Like, for example, Catholicism, or as well, the most recent example, which made me think of this topic to talk about and to come and talk about it, which, like, if you're new to something and you want to, like, how's the online fan base of this thing? Don't get too invested. Come to it with an understanding of what you're getting yourself into, because most likely these people are insufferable, honestly. So just, to me, how it is sometimes. The most recent example would be the recent UFC fight between Islam Makhachev and Ian Machado Gary, and the amount of casuals who've never fought in their lives. The amount of casuals have just started watching UFC or only know UFC knowledge through TikTok, and this is their first fight watching. What they say is, Islam Makhachev is so boring. Ian Gary should have won that fight. Islam is so boring. Islam sucks. When actually, Islam pulled off a masterclass. Literally pulled off a masterclass. It was one of the best fights, performances I've ever seen. Not because he just dominated that much. No. It's not because like he dominated a crazy amount in the game. And in the fight. No, it's because his experience really shined through. His championship experience, his understanding of what he had to do to get the win, in the situation that he was in, and really what they were doing. Literally, like, only a championship fighter could understand how to do that. This is the only way. Only a championship fighter. Only a fighter like Islam Makhachev who knows exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what he showed. So I think the whole narrative of, Islam got, he was just wrestling, and yeah, that's part of the game. It's mixed martial arts, okay? And he did hurt him on the feet. Now, Ian Gary is extremely, as well, talented on the feet, and I think it was a great fight, and it was a great display of skill. The reason Ian Gary didn't open up as much as some people like, why is he not opening up? Because Islam would have capitalized, or he was afraid. I mean, I can't say 100%, oh, Islam would have capitalized off so-and-so. But if I had to guess why Ian Gary was kind of like timid or didn't want to like open up, like if I had to guess, it's because of how Islam capitalizes off striking. If he dodges one, he's going to take you down. And you see how much control time he can waste and how much control time he gives himself on the scorecard after capitalizing off of a mistake. But you see a great performance like that, and then you have casuals just absolutely ruin the experience. And this happens in so many things. It's not just UFC. It's not just Catholicism. Like, it's a lot of things. And I think now I've understood this. But sometimes in the past, like whenever I get into something like Catholicism, and then you see people who are not properly representing Catholicism, and it would like upset me. But now I understand, dude, this is online. Just because it's people who are Catholic online does not mean anything. Does not mean that they're not gonna make mistakes, or does not mean that they're not gonna, whatever. It happens. So I think that really, just as I have gotten older and spent more time online, I've just come to the understanding of like these people are never gonna change. Like, it's just how it is. Like, it's fine. These people that's just how they are. That's how they're always gonna be. These people are, no matter where you go, you're gonna find the same kind of people. So to not let that ruin your experience of something, or not let that make you lose your love for that certain thing. But I gotta get going. That's just quick thoughts I had and an update on my meniscus. So thank you very much for watching.